Hi, emotions can be our worst enemy and our strongest ally. Stay tuned today on Distinctions for Life, where we learn different ways to change or control your emotions. Welcome to Distinctions for Life, and I'm your host, Ron Davis. Today we're going to learn different ways of controlling our emotions, which is kind of funny to me because I don't really consider myself that emotional a guy. But I also know that it seems that emotions are the things that most often keep me from taking the action that I need to take. Imagine success is archery. You need two things to hit the target. You need accuracy and power. If you don't know how to aim the bow, you're not going to hit the target. But it doesn't matter how well you can aim the bow, if you're not pulling it back hard enough, you're not even going to reach the target. Well, I think of our intellect as our ability to aim in life. And so if you don't have the wrong philosophies, wrong beliefs, you have some kind of mental block, well then you're not going to hit the target, or you got the wrong beliefs, you're going to hit the wrong target. But on the other hand, emotions are power. Those are the things that give us the oomph that gets us into doing things. And you know, there are a lot of times in life where we know what we need to do, but we don't do it. We don't have the motivation, we don't have the power. That comes from our emotions. So that's why they're so important for us to learn how to control. So if our emotions are so important, is there anything we can do to control them? Yes, there is. And today we're going to talk about one of those ways, physiology. You know, saying that an emotion is a feeling tells us where it lives. It lives in our body. Because, you know, our feelings are like when we touch something, we call that a feeling. But we also call what we feel, our emotions, a feeling, meaning that they're coming out of our body. So if they're coming out of our body, what happens if we change our body? Does it change our emotions? Well, yeah, it does. Here, let me give you an example. If I said to you, in the next room, there's a depressed person. Can you describe them to me? You would probably go. You'd think about it for a minute and you'd say, yeah, I can describe them to you. I can describe them. They're slumped over, their head's down, you know, they're speaking slowly, they don't move a whole lot. Exactly. And you know what? You'd be right. And you know why you would be right and why you can guess that? Because there's a certain physiology that goes with depression. Depression dictates a certain physiology. But you know what? If you change that physiology, you can change that depression. So say you have this depressed person, you get this depressed person to get up and jump around, get up and smile, breathe deeply, run around, go exercise. At the very least, it's going to lower the volume on their depression, if you will. And it probably is going to make them eliminate it altogether. How many times have you heard of people say, man, I am just like so depressed, I'm going to go work out. And they go and they work out. Because if they work out, then all those emotions get flushed out of their system. Because those emotions are in your body. So that's our distinction for the day. If you change your body, you can change your emotions. So this week, if you're feeling down, try and change your physiology. Do something simple, stand up, move around. If you're depressed, stand up, jump up and down. If you're really depressed, go run around the block, go for a walk, do something like that to change your emotions. And then come back to the website and tell us if it worked. Tell us what you did and whether or not that changed your emotions. Thousands of years before Christ, Solomon said that there was nothing new under the sun. The distinctions I teach on this show are very rarely my own invention. I've been studying this for decades and learned a plethora of things, and Distinctions for Life is just my way of helping other people. For this particular thing, this physiology to change your emotions, I learned it from my first self-improvement guru, Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a love him, hate him, or discount him kind of guy. Those who've learned from him love him. Those who've just seen him on TV infomercials hate him because he's just too crazy and rambunctious. The NLP crowd, they discount him because they say he's just watering down the Bandler and Grinder gospel. I guess you'd put me in that first category because I spent hundreds of dollars to go to one of Tony Robbins' workshops, Fear into Power, and at least I got a great story out of it. When people ask me what's the craziest thing you've ever done, I can say, well, I walked on hot coals at 2 a.m. in Dallas, Texas. If you want to go back to the source, there are 3 things that I would recommend from Tony Robbins. Which one you pick depends on your level of commitment to change and your willingness to invest in that commitment. The first thing, if you just want to learn a little, is to read one of his books. I'd suggest Personal Power, because that was his first book and that's the core of his teaching. He's got a couple of other books that are great as well. So the second level you can do is you can invest in one of Tony's audio programs. He's got 2. One's called The Edge, and the other is called Personal Power. The Edge is 10 to 14 days and includes the first week of Personal Power. Personal Power is 30 days long. Now what these programs do is they give you a lesson for each day of the period of time that that program goes. As a matter of fact, since, like I said, in the Edge, you get the first 7 days of Personal Power in addition to some new material. Okay, if you really want to jump in and take it to the next level, go to one of Tony's workshops. Learn to walk on fire. If nothing else, you'll get a great story out of it that you can tell your friends for a long time to come. There are links to all these resources in the show notes. The show notes are available at distinctionsforlife.tv. Come to the distinctionsforlife.tv website and sign up for our mailing list, which will help you be one of the first people to get the next episode of Distinctions for Life. I'm your host, Ron Davis. Until next time, live life to the fullest.